We've had our solar and battery installation for a couple of years now, and I think the time has come to upgrade the batteries that we use. We've got 7.4 kilowatts of solar panels on the roof, and we have a pair of green links. That's Hanchu ESS 3.2 batteries, 3.2 kilowatt hour batteries here, giving us 6.4 kilowatts of kilowatt hours of storage. And when the system was commissioned, that was perfectly fine, because it was sized for the usage of our house, and that worked really well. Since then, we have installed a heat pump, and obviously heat pumps consume a lot of electricity. So we are finding that the 6.4 kilowatt hours of battery is being swallowed, frankly, by the heat pump on cold days. I'll put a graph on the screen, and you can see that the purple line is the state of charge, the charge of the battery, and we're able to charge the battery 3 times a day, but the heat pump will just simply hoover up the capacity of these small batteries, and then we're left paying for electricity at the prevailing rate. And we're on a time of use tariff, so what we'd like to do is buy electricity during the night and charge the batteries during the cheap period, and then use that electricity exclusively through the day. But that's not happening just at the moment, because the heat pump eats the batteries. So we are looking to replace these with a battery from Fogstar, who are a UK manufacturer based in Redditch, which is not too far from us. And that arrived this morning, and it's a big old box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the box and show you what's inside, what it came with, and then hopefully I will be able to wire it up to our LuxPower inverter. I'm a cautious sort of chap, so I'm going to leave these boxes on the wall for now, and just floor mount the Fogstar battery and make sure everything's working nicely. And then once we're happy with that, we'll remove these and settle on the Fogstar. So let's take a look at the Fogstar, which is a 16.2 kilowatt hour battery, and at the time of recording, I bought that, which is early December 2015. No, 2025. I bought that on a Black Friday deal for £1,400 for a 16 kilowatt hour battery, and that's excellent value compared to the price we paid for these a couple of years ago. So good, because the price of batteries has dropped markedly over that time. So and we think that 16 kilowatt hour should be enough to mean that we don't have to buy electricity at the prevailing rate, and we can buy it, charge our battery using the cheaper rate periods during the day. So let's have a look at what's inside the big old box that came from Fogstar. So this is the Fogstar 16 kilowatt hour battery that the driver delivered this morning. It is essentially a pallet, a small pallet, and it is very heavy. My goodness me! The guy wheeled it in using a pallet truck, and I just tried to move it a little bit, and it's wicked heavy. So 120 kilograms. So by my math, that's 6 suitcases. So that's pretty heavy stuff. I hope I'm going to be able to get it onto its feet and get it out of the packaging myself, but we'll have to see how we go. I may have to call in some friends to give me a hand so we don't get hurt. But let's get it open and see what's what. Well, you have to use screwdriver and some pliers to lift all of these tabs around the edge and make them straight such that the lid will come off. Not sure I've achieved that yet, so I will press on and come back to you in a moment. Right, I think that's going to come off. Definitely recommend some gloves because the metalwork on the packaging is a little sharp. Right, let's have a look what's in here then. Right. I think the box as a whole will come to pieces. At least I think it's going to have to, because I don't see a way of getting this onto its wheels without first taking the sides off and stuff. So there we go. One big battery. Nice looking serious casters. I've got some cables in here, some of the large high power cables for the connecting it to the inverter, and also what I presume is a standard Ethernet cable for the data, you know, so that the battery management system can communicate with the inverter. I wonder what the procedure is then for getting this out of here. Looks involved. Okay, I ordered the one in black because, you know, why not? And right, let me see if I can stand any chance of getting this out of here by myself. Oh, here you go. So there's some very serious looking power cables for connecting the battery to the inverter. As you can see then, the cables themselves are just orange, but they are marked at the end with red and black, so you don't get the polarity wrong. But they feel pretty serious, so that's good. And also there is this special USB cable here that is that allows you to use a laptop or a device to program the battery management system. I'm assured by Fogstar that all the settings are correct, and I shouldn't need to mess with any of that. So that's good news, because some of the settings look wicked complicated. Okay, let me press on with getting this open and see how we go. Whew, crikey, this is a big old lump. As you can see, I've taken the sides off it. There are these metal tabs that you have to straighten and open, and that is way easier than it sounds. You have to use a screwdriver to bend them, and then they have to be straight in order to pass through the other parts of the packaging. So not a trivial piece of work by any means. So here it is. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to get enough of a grip on this to lift it in, even if I can. As essentially a frail IT man, I'm really not sure, but I'll give it a try. And if it's too much, then I'll call for some backup. God in heaven. Oh, goodness me. A bit of a sit down. Wow. I think I'm going to have a bit of a sit down after that. So I'm not sure what came out on the video, but I slid it, removed the bottom of the packaging, and then slid it off the bottom of the pallet, so that then half of the weight was tipping, and then I was able to lift it onto its feet, and now it's on some nice casters, so it moves around quite nicely. I think there are, once you've got it where you need it, there are some more permanent feet down there that you can extract and it'll stand. So let's see what we can see. So on the back of here are the battery terminals. There we go. These big old bolts. I think I might have to nip to screw fix to get a big enough bolt spinner for that, but okay. And the negative. And then we have, I believe that this is the interface that goes towards the inverter. And these two are used if you are daisy chaining more of these devices next to each other. So, whew, goodness. I think I might need a bit of a sit down in a minute. Shall we have a look at the display? Let me see if I can't move you a little closer. Okay, should we power it on and see what's what? And this will start up the battery management system. That's the Fogstar logo. And there we go. So it's Fogstar Energies, 50% state of charge, 1 cycles. Okay. All right. Is this a touchscreen? I think it might be. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look, here are all the cells. They look about right. Temperatures. It's a bit of a chilly December, well, lunchtime now. Protocol. Oh yeah, so this is probably the protocol we're going to use. This is the Pylon Tech protocol over the CAN, and that should work nicely with the inverter. That's good news. And I guess most of the time it just sits there doing that. Right, it's time for me to sit down, I think, and rest my sore back. So I'm going to leave it all here for now, and we'll come back to it maybe tomorrow, who knows, or perhaps later today. Going to shut down. There we go. Okay, so it's the next day, and I've had to sit down, have a couple of ibuprofen after lifting this this battery onto its wheels, but all okay. So the job today is to try and wire it up and connect it to the inverter in place of the two batteries. So what I've got here are the two serious battery leads that need to be connected here and then run up to the inverter. And what I think I'm going to do is leave all the wiring and what have you that's part of the original battery installation in place for now, and just use all of the cables and what have you that came with the Fogstar. So let's see if we can get these installed. So this was incredibly tight. I was going to use my little bolt spinner affair to try and fit these cables, but I had to use a full-on regular spanner. Right, I'm going to take these out the side here and see if that works. I hope this is the way you do it, with the contact straight against the plate and then the washers and what have you next to that. Let's see how it looks like that. I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, I think that looks all right. I wanted to cross them like that so they didn't kind of stick out into the room and I could have the battery kind of close to the wall. Okay, so it's done. The Fogstar is down here and wired in. And this is not its final resting place. When these Hanchu batteries are gone, then it'll sit directly under the inverter. So I've replaced the communications cable with the yellow one that came with the Fogstar, and the real challenge was these guys, because these power connectors are larger. They're larger in diameter, and they also have larger connectors on the end, which means that they won't insert into these sockets here. So they need to go up, and then you screw them in. I'll put a picture up showing the difference, but this is the smaller one, and it was in use from the old batteries, and wouldn't go in. So posted on the forum, on the Facebook forum for LuxPower, and someone recommended simply grinding away the sides of the bigger connectors such that they fitted. So Mr. Dremel came out and he has made the connections narrower. And now they go into this socket okay, into these sockets okay. So I think it might be time to switch it on, and then we'll see how we go. Right, let's turn on the mains power, and that should be enough to start the inverter. Right, now what I need to do with the inverter is I need to change the protocol such that it is the battery protocol, such that it is the pylon protocol over CAN. I don't really know what that's going to look like, so I'm going to get that done, and I'll show you in a minute where you go to find that setting. Okay, so when you power it up for the first time, it asks whether the battery's plugged in, and then if it is, you say that it's a lithium ion pylon battery. That's about right, isn't it? Let's try that. Set up complete, lithium ion pylon. Okay. So, anything happening down here on the screen? Not a lot. And What about back up here? I'm going to turn the DC on down here. And the solar. EV charge connecting. Few seconds. Connect OK. Ooh, hello. We've got some flashing lights down here on the battery. Now, where we are at this exact moment in time, it should be charging from the grid. It looks like that current figure's coming up. Not sure what that means, but okay. I'm getting charged lights, 50%. Let's go back to the screen. Stuff's happening. Right. You know what? I'm just going to sit here and watch it for a bit. And make sure that no smoke comes out of anything. And nothing looks too hot. And there's no burning smells. So give me a few minutes. I'll report back. So it's working, which is good news. This is not its final position, of course. The after a week or two, when I'm happy that everything's fine, these green links batteries will be removed, and the Fogstar will be moved under the inverter. Tidy up the cables, put the cover back on. Everything's cool. So obviously it's very early days. I'll report back tomorrow to see how it's performed overnight, and maybe we'll get a bit of solar generation, and we might be able to see what's going on there. But everything looks in good shape. The battery did some charging just now, and now it's gone dark. The battery's running the house, and everything looks fine. The app shows the details of the new battery, and I'll put those details on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. The app now shows one battery instead of two. It shows the capacity of the battery is increased from 124 amp hours to 314 amp hours, which is the stated capacity of the battery, and the various charging and discharging rates have improved. This is capable of 180 amps charging and discharging, and the older batteries had a smaller charge rate. So let's see how it goes. As I say, it'll run the house overnight. It'll do a full charge during the cheap rated electricity this evening, and yeah, it looks pretty good so far. No burning smells, nothing running hot. Everything seems okay. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so good news. Everything seems to be working just fine. We made it through the night. No burning smells, no flames, nothing. It's all good. So we've got the battery here doing its thing, 57% charge here in the middle of the day. It's cold today, but sunny. And that means that the heat pump is basically just hoovering up all the solar energy coming from the panels. So there's not a lot happening with the battery. It's not being charged or discharged at the moment. It's kind of neutral. But yeah, everything seems okay. I think that the big battery, it didn't get fully charged overnight in the cheap window that we see from 4 a.m. till 7 a.m. But it'll get there, I think. And yeah, so it's gone pretty well. It was a big old beast to get out of the box. I understand they do a 32 kilowatt hour battery, which is 280 kilograms, which is going to need like half a dozen fellas to lift that out of the box. So be warned, take it easy with these heavy boxes. But certainly for £1,400, it's an absolute steal. It'll be amazing to see where we are in a couple of years when battery prices have fallen again. Who knows? But yeah, project went okay. Changing the protocol on the inverter was fine. When I powered it up with the new battery, it basically came up and said, "Oh, you've got a battery. What type is it?" And you select lithium ion, and then there's a little list that you scroll through to find the protocol that's required. This is the pylon protocol that we're using here, and you just say get on with it and connects up, and everything seems to work. So yeah, good news. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. And if you've got any questions or comments, or if you see I'm doing anything wildly wrong, then please let me know in the comments below. And if you need any questions answering, then drop them in there and I'll do what I can. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.